or more this Care-a-thon, you will receive a car sunshade with the Divine Mercy radio logo on it. It's one of those nice ones that pops open when you open it, folds back up real small. You can keep it just about anywhere, even in your glove box. Really nice little thing there. Plus, you get entered into a drawing for a Bose Smart speaker donated by Dave and Janet Schmidt, owner of Dave's Auto Repair. A 1987 silver-proof Eagle coin donated by Dustin Rhodes, owner of Diamond R Jewelry. A handmade ladder rosary donated by Dora Liker. And a barbecue gift set donated by Kelly Kinky, owner of Horizon Appliance and Electronics. Also included in those drawings, other prizes of a gift set, including a hand-woven bracelet, a hand-carved limestone cross, and a wax reveal candle donated by Kathy Shupman, owner of Kat's Hallmark. A $100 gift certificate to Hickok Steakhouse donated by Oscar Runyon, Greg Whitehair, and Damon Hoare, who are the owners. Finally, for the last of the prizes in this Care-a-thon's gifts that we're giving out for donors, there's a men's Divine Mercy Radio shirt and a women's Divine Mercy Radio shirt, and you get to pick your size and your logo, and we'll get that to you. That's all the things that you can possibly win for being a $250 donor or more. If you are $500 or more, you get entered into that drawing, plus you receive a 60-second spot celebrating a loved one's birthday, an anniversary of a death, an anniversary of any other sort, a baptism, a wedding, graduation, any other kind of celebration. You let us know, we will get it on the air. If you give $1,000 or more, you get all of that stuff. Plus, you get a Divine Mercy Radio baseball cap, and you get 2 tickets to our annual banquet, which will be held Saturday, September 7th in Hayes, and Sunday, September 8th in Colby. Our guest speaker there will be Catholic Answers apologist Joe Heschmeyer, and he is a great speaker. Let's see here. I'm going to see if we've got our next guest. Here she is coming into the radio station right now. Before we get Debbie on here, I'm going to go ahead and read our first trivia question. So every hour, we read 2 trivia questions, one at the beginning, and I try to do another one at about the half-hour mark. If you think you know the answer to that question, please call 785-621-4110, and you can answer that question. But remember that the 4 o'clock hour and the 5 o'clock hour are only for people 16 and under. So it's for the youth. You have to be 16 and under to answer this question. 785-621-4110. All right, here we go. First question of the 5 o'clock hour. Who took 2 of each animal and put them on the ark? A, Moses, B, Jesus, C, Abraham, or D, Noah? Who took 2 of each animal and put them on the ark? Was it A, Moses, B, Jesus, C, Abraham, or D, Noah? 785-621-4110. All right. We have Debbie Hagans in here. Let me get your microphone on and see if you've got that going. How you doing, Debbie?
I am doing well. Thank you.
Good. We might move that a little bit closer to you. All right.
All right.
Wonderful. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Debbie, I have that you're from Lenora, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Utica has been her home since 1978, where when she took her first teaching job. Debbie is a graduate of Fort Hays State University, where she received her bachelor's and master's degrees. She has recently completed her Catholic Leadership Certificate from Creighton University this past December. Debbie has been a social studies teacher and Scholars Bowl coach. Fantastic. My kids are in that. I love it. She taught at Utica, Western Plains in Ransom, and then Sacred Heart School in Nest City, where she taught 5th and 6th grades. Currently, Debbie is the principal of Holy Family School in Great Bend. Wow. What do you not do?
Well, and I still drive the bus and do some other things, whatever a principal needs to do to make everything go smoothly.
That is fantastic. It's wonderful to have you in here today.
Thank you.
I see that we get to talk about update on Great Bend's Holy Family School, which is really cool. I didn't know that you had a Holy Family. We got a Holy Family. You got a Holy Family.
Right. And I always have to make sure when we put out anything that everybody knows that that's Holy Family School in Great
In
Bend.
Great Bend.
So we're not mixed up.
Okay. Well, very good to be sister schools or whatever we would call
Exactly.
that. So awesome. First thing I think is tell us what is happening at Holy Family School right now.
Okay, our next 2 weeks are really busy, and especially we're getting ready for our diocese track meet that's happening on Saturday. We have 6 Catholic schools in the Southwest Diocese, and they come into Great Bend for a track meet that's 4th, 5th, and 6th grade events, and it's run just like a regular track meet. So we're getting ready for that, of having people to be able to run the events and time and keep score and things like that.
Now, how many schools did you say are coming?
There are 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
There'll be St. Mary's from Garden City, St. Dominic's from Garden City, Sacred Heart of Dodge City, Sacred Heart of Nest City, St. Joseph's in Ellenwood, and then Holy Family.
All right. So is this the first time that this has been done, or have you guys done that for a while?
This has gone on for quite a few years.
Oh, really?
And,
Okay.
Nest City hosted it for quite a few years. Dodge City has hosted it, and then now we are at Great Bend. We hosted last year, and then we'll host Saturday.
Wow, fantastic. All right. So you guys are hosting a diocesan track meet, which is really cool. Do we have anything else that you have that we really ought to know? Yeah, this is going on.
Yes, tomorrow is a big day for us because we have our preschool roundup and then also our kindergarten roundups. And so those little guys and their parents will be coming in to visit the school and meet their teachers and get us ready to go for next year.
Okay, so preschool and kindergarten roundup. What does it consist of to put on a day of preschool and kindergarten roundup?
Well, we have a schedule, and so the teachers have told me, okay, this is the time that you need to be here for preschool, and then I'll have a little bit of time off, and then I'll go into the kindergarten roundup room.
Okay.
So we have 2 sessions of that for the kindergarten. So it's going to be a full day.
Okay, so what do they do? What does the roundup look like when they come into the school?
Mainly, they're going to be able to go into their rooms, see what their classrooms are going to look like, meet their teachers, and then also fill out some paperwork for enrollment to get them ready for that. The teachers will meet with them and explain some of the things that they can expect and also what their expectations are and goals for those kids as they enter kindergarten.
Okay, fantastic. Now, what does enrollment look like for you guys? What type of numbers?
Well, right now we are at 192.
Okay, and that's
Preschool
pre-K through 6? Okay,
Mhm.
fantastic.
When I interviewed for the job 2 years ago, we were at 165.
Okay,
And so we are growing.
that is great.
Yeah, we are growing, and we have now split our kindergarten. We'll have 2 sections of kindergarten, and next year we'll have 2 sections of our first grade.
Okay, fantastic. Are you able to keep all your teachers from this year? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
been able to do that. And then, of course, we are hiring a teacher for first grade and an art teacher.
Okay.
Also.
Absolutely wonderful. So if there's some people out there listening.
Well, I'm hoping I've got those filled.
Okay. All right. Maybe not. No,
I think I do.
Okay. Well, we won't go any further than that. But let me do break in really quickly to congratulate Avila Berg. Way to go, young lady. I appreciate it. Wonderful young lady, wonderful family there. Avila Berg correctly answered who took 2 of each animal and put them on the ark. And the correct answer there is Noah. So very good, Avila. We will get you put into that drawing for the gift certificate here in just a little bit to Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts. You are listening to Divine Mercy Radio's Spring Care-a-thon. Come follow me. We have that total goal of $125,000. And we'd like to see if we can get there by tomorrow at 6. That's when our Care-a-thon ends. However, even if we don't get there by then, you can still donate. There's nothing wrong. You can donate throughout the year. You can donate anytime that you want. But especially now, this helps us to know where we're at for the next year and what we can do and how we can run our radio stations. We have all 5 stations that we run from these funds that we get from you guys, and we are completely listener funded. 785-621-4110 for your pledge. That's 785-621-4110. All right, we're in talking with Debbie Hagans about what's going on with Holy Family School in Great Bend, which is really cool because that's one of our listening areas. So it's excuse me. It is fantastic to have somebody in here from another one of our listening areas and be able to speak about what's going on in your guys' community. Thank you so much. So, getting ready to come to the end of the year, that's got to be a big undertaking in and of itself. What are some things that are going on? This is a time that a lot of field trips happen for people. Do you guys have some field trips happening? Anything that you're really this is going to be neat?
Right. Last Friday, we took the sixth graders and went to the salt mines in Hutchinson.
Oh, there you go.
And toured that. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. And also our fifth grade then took field trip and went to Canopolis Reservoir.
Oh.
And did some hiking in the hills there and enjoyed a day at the lake.
Wow, fantastic. So, did they do any plant identification, bugs or anything like that?
Yes, they did.
Fantastic.
Yes. And we learned so much at the salt mines too about the jobs that they have in mining the salt down there and what it's used for. Very good field trips that we had. Our third grade just went to Pioneer Day yesterday, and that was at the Historical Museum in Barton County. They go to Larnard for a field trip on tomorrow.
Okay.
So we have lots going on with
out to that historical site, or okay. Yep, I've been out there. Oh wow, that is really neat. So you guys got all kinds of things going on for the kids then.
Oh, we do. And then next week we'll have talent shows on Tuesday and Wednesday. And on Tuesday, we have the little guys, the kindergarten through third grade. And anybody that wants to perform a talent is welcome to perform. And then on Wednesday, the older kids, our fourth, fifth, and sixth graders will come in and they'll do their talent shows.
Okay. So how many people are signed up for it? Like the entire grade then? And
well, yeah, some of them perform as a grade, and then there's individuals that come in, and it can be from an instrumental to dance to, I think we even have some first graders that's going to put on a little Scholars Bowl and show what they know with that.
Oh, really?
Yes, we do Scholars Bowl at Holy Family.
At the sixth grade level?
Fifth and sixth grade, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do that right after when the Christmas vacation is over, our Scholars Bowl season starts. And we host Scholars Bowls, but we also go to some junior high Scholars Bowls.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. The kids are really enjoying that.
That is wonderful. And, and at the fifth and sixth grade level, how do they do against the do they hold their own, or is it pretty tough? Or?
They do. We went to one at St. John and they came home with second place medals.
Really?
Yes, they do well. And so we're looking forward to that next year too.
That is absolutely awesome. Starting them off at that,
That's right.
Like I said, a couple of my boys are in it. I love watching Scholars Bowl. It's always difficult because you have to be quiet.
Right.
I've got a family member that's a lot like me and was asked to maybe not come to Scholars Bowls because you got to be quiet. So that's always the tough thing with it.
That's right. That's right.
So
then,
yeah, go ahead.
On next Thursday is our field day.
Okay.
And so that's in the afternoon, and that's where we have field events that the kids do. And our PE teacher has organized that, worked so hard to get that one ready. So the kids always look forward to that day. We'll finish it with a color run, which we haven't done before.
Oh, wow.
So we're looking forward to seeing how that goes.
How far is your color run?
Well, it's just going to be inside the north part of where our school is. We're all enclosed with a fence.
Oh, okay.
But on the north side of it, they'll just have a route that they run for the color run.
Okay.
And the teachers will have the color to be able to spray.
Oh boy, that ought to be a great time. Don't let them back into the school.
We realize that.
That's got to be one of the strict.
We have a plan.
You're not going back in. Maybe get the hose out and hose off.
Then on the 10th, a week from tomorrow, is our sixth grade graduation.
Okay.
So, and that will be our last day, but that culminates the end of the school year is that graduation mass that we have that morning.
Okay. So that's really great that you guys have a mass just for the sixth graders, to kind of send
Right.
them on then. Um,
We have 24 sixth graders
okay.
this year. And at the conclusion of mass, then of course we have awards that we hand out, and
Okay.
I get to give a graduation speech, and I'm going to talk about each one of the kids this year.
Oh, wow.
And then we give them their diplomas, and there's a reception afterwards for them and for their parents.
No, well, fantastic. Now, do you guys have Catholic schooling beyond sixth grade at all?
No,
Or
we
okay.
don't. We don't. There is some interest there in having a junior high, but right now we're growing down in those lower grades.
Yeah.
And so we aren't able right now to grow both ways.
Gotcha.
So for us to get this accomplished, to be able to have the teachers to be able to go next year, that's been a winner for us.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we'll pray for that, because I know
Sure.
what a blessing it is to have pre-K through 12 in our
Right.
community of Catholic schooling. Oh, I love it.
Right.
So absolutely, we'll pray for that. Okay, so a lot going on down there: field trips, field day, graduation. I find that Catholic schooling, one thing is rigorous, and we do quite well when it comes to tests and things like
Right.
that. And I imagine that you're probably seeing the same thing there.
Uh-huh.
What are you seeing out of your kids academically, socially, and spiritually as they progress through their years at Holy Family?
Right. We, of course, the interest is to build the mind, the body, and the spirit.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we want to perform academically well, but also we want the spirituality of the kids to grow too. And especially the morals and values that they're going to take with them as they leave and they go on into middle school and high school. We want those values to stay with them.
Yeah.
And to learn how to present themselves, to be able to do public speaking, is a priority for us.
Oh, so you're teaching them to get up in front of people, and that's
we just
wonderful.
finished having, and I believe we finished in March, but it's called a civic oration. And the fifth and sixth graders write a speech. And this year their topic was an invention, American invention. And then they memorize that speech, and it's 3 to 5 minutes in
Okay.
length.
Hey, that
And
is
so
wonderful.
they give that to their classmates and their teacher, and then there's a top 3 or 4 that's picked to go on. And then we have an evening when the finalists give their speeches, and then we pick first, second, and third. But that's been in the diocese for many years. We did finally decide not to do it diocese-wide, but Holy Family said we were going to still keep doing
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So it gives our kids a lot of experience to do that. Very good speeches that they had this year too.
Wow, that is absolutely wonderful. So, do you guys have what does your religious education program look like within the school? Do you guys
Right.
have a set teacher to teach them, or is it every teacher, or how do you guys do
Yeah,
it?
it's every teacher teaches the religion. In our upper grades, we have Joan Henning that teaches the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade religion. They rotate through into her classroom. She teaches math also, but she teaches that religion in the upper grade, and then the classroom teachers handle it down below.
Okay.
And I heard the interview that you were doing with Jackie Brown here.
Yep.
Because we too have an atrium in our school,
Uh-huh.
and the catechesis of the Good Shepherd will be given to our kindergarten classes
Oh, awesome.
next year. So we're incorporating that into the school as part of their faith formation, not necessarily their religion class,
Yeah.
but part of increasing their faith formation.
So will this be the first year that anybody
Yes.
in the school has gotten it then, or?
Well, they also have an atrium there now, and it's been different time periods. There'll be little kids that come in during the day that are maybe preschool K4 kids. And then after school, there's a session too where our kids, if they choose to go,
Okay.
can come in and go through the atrium.
But this will be next year will be the first year where every kid that's in pre-K
In
or
kindergarten.
in kindergarten, okay,
Right.
will have it.
Right.
Okay.
hmm
Well, that'll be kind of great then to over the next 5 years to kind of track their spiritual growth,
Right.
and see, what has this program done for our Catholic kids in our community.
Right.
Wow.
I was in the other day when they were having a session in the atrium, and one of the little girls who was a kindergartner this year, they had a station where there was a mannequin, and she was dressing the mannequin in the priest's robes.
Oh yeah.
And she told me why they wore what colors and what they wore together. And then she took me over and she showed me they had a box that had the different time periods in the Catholic year, and she knew what each one of those stood for.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
I know a lot of adults that can't do that.
Exactly. And that's what I was thinking while I was standing there listening to her. This is fantastic that as a kindergarten, she's able to do that.
Wow. Yeah, that
So-
is great.
Yes.
How have you seen then? Have you noticed that in the school? Through the religious training that they're getting, and through the academic, that you're watching these kids really flourish within the school, and where do you see that kind of happening?
One of the places where I really see that happening is how the teachers talk to the kids in the atrium. And it's all very calm and it's all very quiet. But the kids now, when they want your attention, instead of coming up and poking you, they'll tap you on the shoulder.
Oh, really?
And that's one of the things that I notice the most is how that has influenced them and how they act and behave outside of the atrium.
Just more of a calming
Yes.
attitude, and
Uh-huh.
oh wow, instead of being caged monkeys. Now I know it doesn't cure everything. There's still going to be a little bit of that craziness there, but that's really neat to see. Then, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us, academically, socially, or spiritually, that you guys have going on throughout the year, or that you see here?
One of the things that I enjoy seeing too is our kids and how they grow and how they serve at Mass and the lecturing that they do at Mass. And now working with the church office, our kids are serving at funerals. And so that hasn't been happening. And so they are out there doing the service for the church with their talents and being
Yeah.
able to help there. So they're understanding a lot of how the church works and how important it is for them to play a role in the church.
Absolutely. That is a wonderful thing for them to learn. And then, yeah, when they grow up, it's just natural.
Sure.
Because I've seen a lot of hesitation. One of the things I used to do at TMP was I had to find mass helpers.
Mhm.
And yeah, if they, especially if kids haven't done it in a long time or anything like that, then it was almost like, I ain't doing it.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me? And
Well, and we try to encourage them that it doesn't stop just when you're done at Holy Family.
yeah,
We still want to see you come in as junior high and high schoolers and serve.
Yeah.
And I know when I was at Nest City, a couple of the best servers I've seen were high school juniors and seniors that served.
Yeah.
And I just want the kids to know that that's something, it's not just over with
Yep.
when you leave Holy Family, that talent can give back to our church.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing that I have seen get a lot better. Holy Family does a good job of having the Holy Family here
Mhm.
also does a good job of having the kids serve. And now they're getting up to the high school level. And at the high school level, it has become more of a, they're used to it.
Right.
The youth there are actually, they're actually helping to run the mass parts and stuff on
Right.
their own,
Mhm.
and take ownership of it. And so that's really awesome to see. And I think, yeah, you guys will see great fruits in your community come from that.
Right.
So, wow, that is fantastic. So anything else you wanted to mention on academic, social, spirituality within the school?
Another thing that was really special for us was a couple of weeks ago, our second graders, of course, took their first communion. And
Yeah.
they had been preparing for that all along, both here in our school and then through our PSR program too. So it was nice to see those kids achieve that goal. And then
Yeah.
our high school kids recently were confirmed.
Uh-huh.
And so we had those events that were going on also.
Okay. But now, at what age do you guys confirm at?
They confirmed in the high school level, lower high
Okay.
school.
Okay. Freshman, sophomore, somewhere
Right.
in there. Okay. Wow. Fantastic. So, the school year is wrapping up, but that doesn't mean that things just stop for you.
The way I look at it, when school is over, and everybody has heard me say this, well, there's only 90 some days before we got to be ready for
Yeah.
the first day. But there's a lot of cleaning that we do, the deep cleaning of the carpets, and the
Yeah.
floors are waxed and things like that. And we'll have some rooms to move around to help the atrium, and then also to make room for our two first grades that we will have also. So those plans are in the works. And
Uh-huh.
right after school is out, we're going to start.
Okay. I'm going to break in here really quickly and remind people that you are listening to Divine Mercy Radio's Spring Care-a-thon. We're on talking with Debbie Hagans, who is at Great Bend Holy Family School. So not Hayes's, but Great Bend's, which is pretty cool because I found out that, we've got that connection there. And Debbie is obviously from our listening area down there in Great Bend. So absolutely wonderful. Stay tuned. Keep with us, but also want to remind people that we are able to be on the air through your donations. We are doing our donation drive right now. That's what we're here for. So help us to get to that next level. Help us to get to our final goal of $125,000 by tomorrow. So if you're driving down the highway, if you are listening outside while you're suntanning, if you are cooking in your kitchen, whatever you're doing, stop and take a moment to send a prayer for us that this mission continues. And then also prayerfully consider calling in with a donation to 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. Let's get those phones ringing. Let's see how much we can get so that we can try to make it to our goal of $125,000 tomorrow. Let's keep the lights on, keep it going. 785-621-4110. Okay. We are going to get back with Debbie Hagans, who is the principal of Holy Family School in Great Bend. Been talking about a lot of the things that are going on. School's getting ready to get out. Summer, you said you're preparing for the new classrooms and things like that. What other things do you guys have going on during the summer that we would need to know?
Mainly that's it, that we have a chance to be able to get our building ready and, of course, get ready for enrollment, the final enrollment that we'll have on July 31st. And then those 2 weeks to be able to get ready for the first week of school.
Okay.
So we have a lot going on with the school to make room for the kids that's coming into the school. And we're excited for the new year already. And Holy Family School in Great Bend will celebrate their 25th anniversary next summer. Not this summer, but a year from this summer.
That is wonderful.
There was 2 Catholic schools there, St. Rose and St. Pat's. And they combined those schools together, added on to the St. Pat's building, and named it Holy Family.
Okay.
So we'll celebrate that 100th anniversary or 25th anniversary next year.
Wow, fantastic. So you said that one of the things you're getting ready for is enrollment next year.
Right.
What does pre-enrollment look like for you guys?
We did our pre-enrollment when Catholic Schools Week started.
Okay.
That was right when we started with it until the middle of February. But our pre-enrollment was at 185, I believe it was, but we've had several families that have contacted us and wanted to apply to enroll in Holy Family. So we're still out there, that there could be more that come in too.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we'll be praying for that.
Sure.
That is absolutely wonderful. I want to take another really quick break here to let everybody know that our total for today was $22,440. Our grand total so far is $69,700. So let's see if we can break over that 70,000 mark before the next 30 minutes. Let's see if we can get there. Some people that are helping us to get there get very close. Kyle and Barb Hemmert, it looks like, donated $250. Thank you so very much to Kyle and Barb. I would ask you guys to prayerfully consider joining with Kyle and Barb, join with myself, join with all the people here at Divine Mercy Radio in spreading the gospel of Christ to the world. I also want to read our second question of the hour. So our second question, call 785-621-4110, and that's the same number you'll call to donate. If you would like to donate, answer both, whatever you want to do. Here is your question. In what city did Jesus visit the temple? Was it A, Bethlehem, B, Jerusalem, C, Rome, or D, Nazareth? In what city did Jesus visit the temple? A, Bethlehem, B, Jerusalem, C, Rome, or D, Nazareth? 785-621-4110. 785-621-4110. With your answer, you must be 16 or under. Must be 16 or under. Thank you very much for following that. Don't take it away from the kiddos. But also, if you're an adult, call in 785-621-4110 and give us your pledge. All right. Getting back with Debbie Hagans here, the principal of Holy Family School in Great Bend. Debbie, was there anything else that you had that you would like to let us know about before we end today?
I would like to invite everyone to, this year we're having our kindergarten graduation also. And I think that would be interesting for our families to come in and see those little guys graduate. They have stoles that they're going to wear. Yeah, so that's going to be a highlight too. And that's the afternoon of the 8th after our talent show takes place.
Okay, so fantastic.
That will be fun in our school also.
Absolutely. So what else do you have going on then?
Also, what we're really hoping now to see, we hope by the end of next week we'll have the results of our state assessments.
Okay, yeah.
And it's always interesting to see how our kids perform on those, where our strong points are at, where we need to work at a little bit more as we prepare for next year and get our curriculums ready to go.
Absolutely. One thing that I would be interested in is what curriculum do you guys use for your catechesis? Do you guys have a specific curriculum that you use for all grade levels? Or
we use right now St. Mary's Press.
Oh, okay.
And then that goes from our kindergarten grade on up through the 6th grade.
Okay.
But they have really enjoyed, especially our 5th and 6th graders, they have the Connect book that St. Mary's uses, and then their Bibles will go with them when they graduate.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. And those have been a very good addition to our religion program.
Okay. Going to break back in and see if we can get a winner for that trivia question. 16 or under, call 785-621-4110. In what city did Jesus visit the temple? Was it A, Bethlehem, B, Jerusalem, C, Rome, or D, Nazareth? In what city did Jesus visit the temple? You got to be 16 or under. A, Bethlehem, B, Jerusalem, C, Rome, or D, Nazareth. Call 785-621-4110. You are listening to Divine Mercy Radio Spring Care-a-thon. Come follow me. All right, getting back with Debbie Hagans, principal of Great Bend Holy Family School. Debbie, is there anything else in the works that you would like to let us know about?
Kind of ongoing for us too is we'll start preparing for our what is called the Night Under the Stars, and that's our big fundraiser that takes place, and that'll be the first weekend in October 5th. And our school council does an awfully lot with that, and they're going to start making plans here to get that underway.
Okay, can you tell me what does the Night Under the Stars look like?
Well, we have a silent auction, and then we also have a live auction, and a lot of support from the people in our community that donate items for that, or also weekend getaways or whatever works for them. And that is one of our major fundraisers. And we just finished one also not too long ago, and it was called Fun Night. And that one was where our kids are able to come in. It's like a carnival in the evening, and we have raffle prizes that we give away. And that has been huge for us as well.
Oh, wonderful.
We also look forward to our endowment dinner. That'll be next January. We have a very large endowment that supports our school. Last year, I received a check for $155,000 that goes
great.
towards financing the school. So we look forward to those events. We get one done, and it's time to get ready for the next one.
Yeah. What does the endowment dinner look like?
Yeah, that's a night when they come in. We have a speaker, and it's usually we try to find someone that's had kids at Holy Family, or they themselves was a graduate of Holy Family. And it's a very nice sit down formal dinner. And after the speaker, then we talk a lot about Holy Family, and they present the check.
Okay, wow. That is wonderful. And is there anything else about Night Under the Stars that you think we ought to know?
Well, we'll be really getting ready for that one here in August. That's when it really gets going. But we encourage everyone to buy a ticket and come to that. It's a fun evening as the auction takes place. So, and we have a lot of nice things that people bid on.
Okay. Do you guys have a dinner or snacks
Yes,
or anything?
we have a dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's prepared by our Knights.
Oh, fantastic. Way to go,
It's
Knights
always-
of Columbus.
Yes, those guys are great. They do a lot to support our school.
That is awesome. All right. So you got that coming up. That helps out the school in a big way. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, I just see that we did get a winner to our trivia question, and our winner is Sylvie Wolf. So Sylvie Wolf wins that trivia question. What city did Jesus visit the temple? And that is Jerusalem. Congratulations, Sylvie. You get entered into, you're the last person of the day, actually, to get entered into that drawing for that $50 gift certificate to Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts. We will actually draw that here pretty soon. And know that also, if anybody's listening, you don't have to be in the Hayes area to win that. Even if you don't live here, you can go online. They do have that online option, or you could just give it to me and I'll use it for you. No, there are ways where we can help make sure that you could get that gift certificate used at Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts in Hayes. All right. Getting back to Debbie Hagans and updates on Great Bend's Holy Family School. So, Debbie, have we made it through everything that's going on, or do you got some more for us?
I think so. I think that's our big one. Today we had our May crowning of Mary.
That's wonderful.
And our girls in our 6th grade do that. And so it was a special day, and our 6th graders put on the mass. Sang, and then also lectured and brought gifts up and did everything in the mass. So that was a special day. And then, of course, graduation will be their next big day that they have.
That is awesome. Wonderful. Okay.
Anytime I can come talk about Holy Family,
fantastic.
I will come, because it's always interesting what's going on. We have excellent teachers at our school that do so much to be able to give our kids the best education that they can. And as our kids go on to the middle school and high school, a lot of those teachers say we can tell exactly what kids are from Holy Family.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what we pride ourselves in, is providing the best education and the morals for our kids to go on.
That's what you want to see.
Right.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much for your time today. Have an amazing day and a safe trip home.
Yes, I will. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You are listening to Divine Mercy Radio Spring Care-a-thon. Come follow me. We're going to get Michael Lager in here in just a minute to talk to us about a few things. But before he comes in, I want to remind everybody that we are in our Spring Care-a-thon. We've got that total goal of $125,000. We've almost gotten over $70,000 with the funds today, but we want to see if we can get there. We still have a few minutes left, folks. If you're listening to us right now, we just brought in the big guns. Michael Lager just came in. He's going to come in and bring a bat to your door. No, I'm kidding. We brought Michael Lager in to speak to us about a few things, but while he's in here, that would be awesome if you would help us to get over that $70,000 mark. Michael works for us, and he knows how important it is, and he is doing a great job. So thank you, Michael, for coming in. Thank you for being with us. And let's see if we can make Michael smile some more. Let's get over that hump, that $70,000, 785-621-4110. All right. Michael, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to hit us with?
Well, so I've been helping out with a 8th grade confirmation class this year. It's been pretty cool. It's been great being with the kids, and kind of made me realize some stuff that I learned throughout college, and then you're at seminary, and then here is just how important it is with parents teaching and catechizing their kids too.
Oh yeah.
I had a professor in he taught our scripture class, but it's Dr. Scott Powell. He actually helped found Camp Waitia, which we talked about yesterday, I believe. But he was talking about how, as a parent, if he were to evangelize, he starts this great camp, he's evangelizing to all of these people, but if his kids do not know the faith, he would consider himself a failure, at least as a parent in that, because his one job as a parent is to make sure that your kids know their faith and continue on and grow in relationship with God. And so he was stressing that to us, was that if you, even if you become a priest, if you become a priest and you're off doing all these great things, but you don't catechize your own flock, your own parish, because you're gone, or and you're doing good things, but you don't finish that first role that you've been giving that initial vocation that you have. It's all for one, and the people that are supposed to matter most to you are, you leave them in the dust, so to speak, and they're not there anymore. So we were just kind of the how do you learn more? I was going to ask you, actually. I remember when you went to TMP, you were talking about how, as you started teaching, you started learning more. So I was kind of curious, what did you learn about what did you start reading, or, how did you grow in your knowledge of the faith as you were teaching and growing in your own faith?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things that I think people are scared of is the catechism, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's one of the beautiful things. Yeah, I understand that some of the language in there can be tough, but it's okay for us to have tough things and to struggle. I get it too. Sometimes I read things and I'm like, nah, that dude is way beyond my level. I don't even understand what he means.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't need to start there. But we can start by reading some of the things in the catechism and being like, oh, yeah, so the church has an answer for that. But also another one of the big things for me was just questions. Questions that students had. There were times when I thought I'd heard it all, and no, no, you haven't. And so that was a big one, because then you really got to start researching. And so one of my favorite things is to go to Catholic Answers, Catholic.com. Start seeing what they've said. And then you can, it kind of does start a snowball rolling downhill in a good way. That once you go somewhere and you get okay, well, I've heard what this person said, but let's go check it. Let's see what the catechism says. Let's see what scripture says. Let's see if any popes have written on this. And that is kind of the beauty of our day. We have a wealth of knowledge at our fingertips. It doesn't always have to be used for ill.
Yeah.
But also, kind of like you brought up, make sure you're on a reputable website. Don't just look up, what does the church teach on the Eucharist? Because you may end up with a top search of some dude who hates the Catholic Church.
Yeah. Fun story with that. We were actually, there's some guys who got sent books, and I don't know if somebody was just messing around with them. But they were on the discount section. It said sale on them $2 or something like that. But it was basically a book called The Church of Rome, and it was some former Catholic guy who is very anti-Catholic now, and was writing all these. And we read through it, and it's just the most outlandish things that no one. It's not taught in schools anywhere, so you wonder where this guy got it from, and all these wild claims and accusations, and it's just where do you even get that? So reputable sources. And I know there's been times where even these trivia questions, you go and you just type into Google like, oh, to double check something, and
Yeah.
the answer comes back and you're, that's not right. That's
Yeah.
that's wrong. Okay, so you know where to go. I know priests have always been great for me. I mean,
Absolutely.
seminary is a long process. I think it's educational. I remember hearing one priest at least talk about how they're like, it takes you 7 years to learn how to say the mass. But it's not just that.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 years of seminary is all philosophy, logic classes, and all this crazy, hard to learn stuff. And then the back half is all the last 4 years is theology. But your local priest knows. He's been through the classes. He's taken it. So if you have questions, I would encourage you to at least start there. You know, ask your local priest. He's probably going to know the answer, you know, for most of the questions that you have. And if he doesn't, he's going to know where to go to.
Absolutely.
To ask. The priest, you know, Salina Diocese, pretty tight knit, you know, they're all open to asking people. I know Father Andy Hammocky down at the campus center has definitely been a lifeline for me more than once on tough, difficult questions that have kind of come up. And so,
yeah. And I think, I mean, you raise a really good point there. That is like, be humble enough to just go ask. I've never had, I mean, it's kind of like when we talk about the confessional, you know, people are afraid of the confessional. Sometimes people are afraid to ask because they're afraid to kind of look dumb or something like that. Well, I just always look dumb, so I don't have that problem. No, but really though, I've never had, like you said, I've never had a priest be like, well, that's a dumb question.
Yeah.
You know, and if it was a dumb question, at least they hit it well.
Yeah. And you know, and like, if you ask the question genuinely,
absolutely.
You're not trying to just, you know, like you make up questions because you want it, you know, to stump the priest or on purpose, or you're trying to be dumb with it. But like, if you genuinely want to know, the priest is never going to shame you for that. He's going to help you come to the answer and show you what the Catholic Church teaches on that. And
absolutely.
I think that's beautiful. And I haven't had a priest who's ever, you know, insulted me for not knowing something. I mean, and if anything, they're happy and they're excited about it. Like, yes, somebody's asking me questions.
Absolutely.
Like I get to help people and answer them. So
and you know, not that we're here, also a very great place to go is Catholic Answers Live.
Yes.
We have this program on Catholic radio. I know sometimes it takes a while to get through, but start listening to that. That was always a great thing for me too, is just listening to questions other people had. Even if you're not the one responding, you can start listening to those Catholic Answers and other types of apologetics programs and start listening like, oh, that's what this priest said, you know, and that's what this apologist said. And then you can start even running with that and go, oh, well, now I can look this up. And so I would say, listening to Catholic radio has been huge for my own learning.
I know there's several people, even people that have called in to donate today, who have said, you know, without Catholic radio, they never would have come back to the faith. They would have just stayed away and not been going to church. But, you know, they found it either randomly just going through channels and were like, oh, what's this? And tuned in. Or I know Nathan here, our executive director, you know, worked for the Fort Hays campus security for a while. And while he was patrolling the streets, would just have it on in the background. And that's how him and his wife, you know, came back to the church. And that's inspired me and made me, and it's one of the reasons that I came here, is that I was looking for somewhere where I was going to be able to express my faith and spread it. And I mean, I'm very lucky to have been able to go to seminary, but I'd almost compare it to like a retreat. You know, if you've ever been on a retreat, or if you ever, especially high school students, that's the big one. When you have NCYC or March for Life, if you ever talk to a high school student after they come back from a retreat, they are on fire for their faith.
Yeah, they are.
And coming out of seminary is the exact same way, where it's just like, I know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I have to spread the gospel. I need to be somewhere where I'm going to be able to do that. And I'm not going to be shut down for my beliefs and my faith. And so thank God I'm here where I can freely do that. And I get to listen to Catholic stuff day in and day out. It's wonderful. So.
And since we're on the microphone side of it, nobody's talking back to us.
Yeah.
You guys unfortunately have to listen to us, but that is awesome. Yeah. All right. What else you got for us, sir?
Yeah. So kind of along that line, again, just caution. We were, I didn't get into the homily writing class that comes when you're basically about to become a deacon. But the priest was making the point, and I'm hoping to have a couple of Denver priests that really affected me last year. A couple of classes. There was one, Father Gary Sellen knows just so much about angels, just amazing class. And then Father Brady Wagner, who leads the spirituality year there, has this class on wounds. And I think that class alone completely changed my outlook on how I looked back at the things that I went through and things in my life and how it affects you. So I'm hoping that next Care-a-thon that we can have those two on, and hopefully that doesn't conflict with any of their schedules. But Father Brady was making the point with homily writing, where he was Father Brady. It was at least somebody there, but they said, when you stop reading, you stop learning, and when you stop reading, you can't write anymore, and you're going to stagnate. So if you're not constantly learning, you're going to stop growing, and you're not going to be able to teach in the first place. Back to Dr. Scott Powell, he was talking about how he was kind of looking at, kind of the decline in the church that's, happened recently, people falling away from their faith and all this sad stuff. And he was trying to pinpoint it in it. And his theory is that you had people that went to church and they trusted the priest to know what he was talking about, and the priest did. But since the parents trusted the priest, they trusted the teachers and all this stuff, they didn't catechize their children on their own. They didn't bring the faith home with them. Yeah. So the kids grew up with the priest knows and all, and the teachers knows and all this, but they never learned it straight from the parents. And so then you fast forward a few generations, and the parents have stopped teaching because they trust the priest, rightfully so. But they trust the priests, and then they in turn don't teach their kids. And the parents are, primary teachers and primary educators of your child learns everything from you from the very beginning until, they become an adult. And then even after they become an adult, you're still teaching them with just how you live your life. And if you're not growing in your own faith, you're not going to be able to teach them. That's one thing I'm very thankful for my mom for, is that I ended up, not that I knew more than her, but she was giving me stuff to read. She at the very least, she was giving me stuff to read. She would give me the Bible stories. She'd give me these workbooks to do, and I'd be like, know these random facts about the faith. And she'd be like, awesome. How do you know that? And it's like, well, you gave me the book that I read. Yeah. And so, even that is just encouraging your children to continue to go out and find on their own. And like you said before, don't be afraid to be wrong. That's something I've had to come to terms with, is that it's okay to be quote unquote dumb or ignorant. Maybe ignorant. Ignorant's such a touchy word, because it sounds like it sounds like a bad word. No one wants to be ignorant, but it's okay to be ignorant. Yeah, it just means unlearned. It just means unlearned. There shouldn't be any negative connotation with that. And just being ignorant means that you just need to go learn more, and that's okay. And that's a good thing. We're all constantly learning. There's more to learn. Yeah. I think there's a book called Jesus and the Jewish Roots of the Eucharist, written by Dr. Brant Petrie. And I remember I was lucky enough at Benedictine College to study. They studied under him. So I was learning from Brant, second generation, basically, so to speak. Yeah. But they talked about how when Brant Petrie was writing his doctorate and getting his doctorate in theology, that he went through there and he was reading all this stuff, and he was like, oh, he just had all these epiphanies where he was just, I can't believe no one knows this. I'm finding out so much about the Eucharist and the church and Mary and all this stuff. And then he went back and read the early church fathers, and they've been saying it since the 2nd and 3rd century. And he's just like, no one ever taught me this. Why? And so now he writes books to help teach other people. But he didn't stop learning. He kept learning. He kept pushing forward. One of my favorites is he also says he did the same thing with the Eucharist when he was translating the original Greek, where it calls it epiousios. Yeah. And he's like, whoa, this means super substantial, supernatural bread. And he's like, I'm a genius. People are going to be amazed at me. And he said, and then I read the catechism. Yeah. I remember that presentation. I love it. He's a fantastic guy. Yeah. It's there. And it's hard too, because it's, where do you start? Yeah. And that's extremely hard. And that's a question I even have, is that I've started asking priests, it's like, where do I continue to learn? You've read through the catechism, sure, but how do you grow in your spirituality and your knowledge of the faith? Not just, random facts, but church history, what led up to things? Why is the church the way it is now? What changed? what did we used to do that we don't do anymore? How to, and all of these things. But
I think you kind of answered it in saying, you know, what is it that you're interested in? Let's say someone is interested in church history.
yeah,
I think one of the good things that you can do is, one, like you said, go talk to a priest and say, hey, do you have any recommendations? You know, and for someone like me, I might say something dumbed down a little bit. St. John Paul II, he was brilliant. He's hard to read in some of his things.
Yes.
But then, find what it is that you're really interested in. Do some research about good things on that topic, and then go get a book.
Yeah.
Start reading.
And reading can be difficult. And I mean, I won't deny that it can be, especially if it's a hard read or it's boring and it's just fact after fact. But it just sitting down with, even if it's just the shortest little book, I would say if you're looking for somewhere to start, maybe look at C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis is one of the so easy to read. And I've read so many. Great Divorce, Screw Tape Letters. I love it because it's not just him just explaining things. It's fun to read. There's a story behind it, but in the story, there's good things.
Absolutely.
Like even, I guess, final point I would say with C.S. Lewis is that when he wrote the Chronicles of Narnia, he made the point that he wanted both adults and children to enjoy it. He's like, just because it's a children's program or something doesn't mean that adults shouldn't be able to get something out of it. Why would you degrade your kids basically and give them something that's not going to be, that's teaching them anything? Just because it's a kid show doesn't mean it has to be nonsense, basically.
Absolutely. I would agree. Read some Lewis, read some Tolkien. You'll get something out of it. All right. We've got 2 minutes left. I want to thank Michael so very much for coming in and having a discussion. That's absolutely wonderful. We are going to bring Nathan in then to do the drawing. We're ready to do that now. Michael's going to grab him. Last thing that I want to remind people is that we've got our Care-a-thon going. We will still be on all day tomorrow trying to get to that $125,000. But let's get to our winner for the $50 gift certificate to Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts. And I think Nathan's going to shake it up. He's going to let Michael draw it. Shake a shake a shake. They can see it on there. But all right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, without looking. What? Yeah, there you go. You got to actually get your finger into the bowl. His hand almost doesn't fit. All right, who's our winner for today?
All right, our winner is Mary Schrader.
All right, just had Mary Schrader in here. Mary, congratulations. You are the winner of the $50 gift certificate to Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts. And we will be back on in the morning. You are listening to 101.7 KJDM Lindsborg and Salina, 105.7 KMDG Hayes, 88.1 KRTT Great Bend, 88.1 KVDM Hayes, 89.1 KGOH Colby. We will see you back here in the morning. Have a wonderful night, and please pray for us and prayerfully consider sending in those donations. God bless you and have a wonderful night.